It's 2025, and the iPhone 17 generation just came out, which makes the iPhone 14 Pro Max both 3 years old and 3 generations old. This is my wife's phone, and each year for the last 3 years, we've had to ask ourselves the question, is this the year to upgrade? But for us, the answer has been obvious. There's no good reason to upgrade quite yet. But can the iPhone 14 Pro Max really hold up to the competition? And is a refurbished iPhone 14 Pro Max still worth buying in 2025? Well, from my perspective, it totally is. But with so many iPhones at so many different price points, how much money you have to spend really starts to matter. So let's get into the differences and the various price points so you can know which iPhone is right for you. Let's start off with design. There haven't been very many changes to the iPhone design since the 14. Unless you count the extra large camera bump, a significant design change. And the 14 also happens to have my wife's favorite color, which is this purple, which looks really clean, although the purple really does not come out on camera. Apple only adds one unique color to their Pro lineup of phones each year, so getting a color that you like can be a challenge. So if you do like the purple, that is one reason why you might want this phone. But beyond designs, when it comes to phones, we all use them a little bit differently, but for the most part, we use them for calling and texting, taking pictures, internet browsing, social media, and maybe some light games to pass the time. When it comes to tasks like that, this phone can easily handle it all, and honestly, it's pretty overkill for most of those. And it can do all of that while maintaining a mostly full day battery life. I say mostly because my wife has found that on particularly heavy usage days when she's consuming a lot of media and using the GPS a lot for things like maps, she can get it to die, but that's honestly to be expected. On the topic of battery life, the newer iPhones do charge a lot faster than the 14 Pro Max, and the 14 was the last generation to still be using the Lightning cable instead of USB-C. That is a bit of a bummer, but if you charge using a wireless charger, you probably won't notice this much. When it comes to the display, that is where you'll notice a little bit more of a difference between it and the current generation. The 14 Pro Max still has a stunning display, and it has a 120Hz refresh rate, which is great. But the newer iPhones do have a much brighter screen, so if you're using your phone outdoors a lot, you might start to notice this. Another main difference is the cameras. The 14 Pro Max has 3 different cameras, an ultra-wide, a main sensor, and a telephoto lens. It takes great pictures and stunning 4K video, but if you're looking for the highest quality pictures and video, that is one reason why you might want to go with the newer generations of iPhone. The newer iPhones also have Apple Intelligence, where the 14 Pro Max doesn't, but Apple Intelligence has honestly been such a joke so far that I don't mind not having it. You also miss out on the action button and camera control button, but those don't matter a whole lot to me in my opinion, so I haven't really cared. The camera control button I find particularly useless, and I bet we're going to see that disappear in the future generations of iPhone. Right now on Amazon, there is a $700 difference between the new iPhone 17 Pro Max and the 14 Pro Max refurbished. And that $700 really only gets you a slight spec bump across the board. Personally, I'd rather get the 14 Pro Max and pocket the $700. And if you buy on Amazon, they have a 90-day guarantee on all of their renewed products, which is nice to have with a product that isn't perfectly new. Now, where the price point gets a little bit more tricky is between the 14 Pro Max and the base 17. The base 17 model got a 120Hz refresh rate this year with the ProMotion, and it's a really good phone all around. It still costs $200 more than a refurbished iPhone 14 Pro Max, but if you have the extra $200 to spend, I might lean towards that option. But if you're right at that $500 price point, there really is not a better option than the 14 Pro Max renewed. And if $500 is a little bit out of your budget, I actually currently rock an iPhone 12 Pro Max as my daily driver, and I have a whole video about how I've been using it. You do have a few more drawbacks, but it also comes in $100 to $200 cheaper than the 14 Pro Max. So if you're interested in learning